Time blocking is a method designed to help a person prioritize tasks and achieve their goals more efficiently. Hello, my love. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of today's video, we're talking about time blocking. I did a video previously on my channel about time blocking when I first started it, and I just wanted to do an update on that video because I think there's some really good tips and tricks that I can show you that I've been doing to really enhance your time blocking. I also got a few comments on that video talking about they appreciated me showing time blocking as a person who works in a retail job or in a job outside of their home, as well as a person who has children, how I use time blocking to help me with that. Time blocking is really beneficial, especially if you feel like your time is moving too fast or slipping through your fingers, or if you feel like you have goals that you have been letting go by the wayside or you've been overlooking, you haven't been giving the correct amount of attention to. So time blocking really can help you narrow down your vision, for lack of a better term, and narrow down your focus so you can achieve those goals more easily. So we are going to jump onto the computer and I'm going to basically show you a week of how I time block. I'm going to clear everything out and we're going to start from scratch for that week so I can show you how I add those top priority things in. So let's jump right onto the computer and get started. Okay, so we're starting with a blank week. And I just need to quickly pull up my work calendar because I need to input my work stuff. I'm just going to talk you through how I plan out my week using time blocking and how I prioritize things and add things in and stuff like that. So firstly, as you see, my blank week starts with some items. So I have all of my top priority items that I want to make sure I take care of for the week. Workout items or workout events in a calendar, they're called events. I have my workout events, I have my morning routine, I have my nighttime routine, my checklist, all of that. I have regularly scheduled appointments that are already in there based off of what is going on in my children's lives and my life as well. And then, yeah, so I just need to add in my work schedule first. I do my work schedule first because it takes up 40 hours out of my week. That is a large chunk of the week that it takes. So I add that in first so I can just be really realistic about my time. I'm going to quickly go ahead and add in my work schedule. I have like a template, like basically this is the template of my work schedule, and I just go ahead and I duplicate it and then I change like the date and the time. So that is how I use Google Calendar to my advantage. So I'm going to go ahead and add in that right now. 1 moment, please. Okay, so now that I've added my work schedule in, things look a little bit different. So as you can see, I work on Tuesday where all of my items are on. So I need to rearrange that. And then I also need to rearrange like my start times and my workout times and all of that. But I still find it super beneficial that these items are in here because I can easily just move them around and I don't have to change a lot of things. It lets me see when I work out and when I'm not working out, where there's conflict in schedule and things like that. If I had appointments, my appointments would already be in here. I make it a point to, whenever I make an appointment, I need to add it in my calendar right away. And I also need to request off from my work schedule. So it's added into my calendar there too. So I do that ahead of time. And then it also lets me see, like I said, my conflicts. So for example, my daughter has dance this day, but I work till 7. So I know that I need to ask someone to take her to dance ahead of time, stuff like that. Now I'm basically gonna take my regular tasks, my prioritizing tasks, which are all these tasks in here, things that I want to prioritize, things that have to do with the goal, things that have to do with my productivity and keeping my productivity straight. And I just need to move them around to a area that makes sense, basically. So, and I usually like to start with the first day and just go all the way through. So on Sunday, I do work early. And I can't work out this day because the gym that I go to is not open early on Sundays. So Sunday usually ends up being my rest day, which is fine. And then I work. I need to adjust my morning routine because I want to make sure I'm on time for work. So I need to get up a little bit earlier. And then after church, not church, I would go to church if I didn't go to work. But after that, I work out. I relax. I usually have some relaxed time on Sunday just because it makes sense. It like helps me also like get prepared for the week. And if I need to do something to prepare for the week, like some type of meal prepping or something like that. And then yeah, I also need to pick up my kids. So my kids usually go with their father on the weekend. So I need to do that. And I also, I color coordinate, as you can see, pretty much everything has a color. I like to continue keeping everything in the bucket that it belongs, and then get for school. So this entails lunch, if I need to fix something, help my kids with something, stuff like that. You know, if I need to fix my lunch, you know, whatever. And I put it in here. And then every day at the end of my day, I have a 30-minute checklist and a bedtime, what time that I really want to be in bed by. So yeah, 10 really, like, I really want to be going to sleep by 10, but I kind of give myself a little bit of leeway because I have children and I have things to do. So yeah. All right, so moving on to the next day. It is still so right now my workout was based off of me working out at home, but now that I go to the gym, I drop my kids off first and then I go to the gym. So I have a little thing in here for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this and put it on the first Monday, 8 a.m. And then I'm also going to make this reoccurring. I think this is super important when you're time blocking to make tasks that you're going to do every week, no matter what. As long as you have time, as long as you're available, you're going to do this task every week. Go ahead and just make that task reoccurring. It's super helpful when you're going back and you're going back. I need a weekday. Yeah, Monday through Friday. When you're going back and you're filling out your schedule for the next week, you're filling out your next time blocking set, because you won't have to think a lot. You won't have to like remember, okay, do I have to do this? Do I have to do that? No, like it's already in there and you can just delete it, add it, move it around wherever you need. And that's why, like, you know, those priority things are in there because I have to move them around. So I drop my kids off and then I'm going to go work out. And then sometimes I leave gaps for things like travel. Like in this instance, I'm gonna like get in the shower at the gym, change my clothes, get ready for work right at the gym. So there's a gap there for that. But yeah, I just leave the gap there because realistically, I need that time to get to work. So, and then same thing here, like travel time gaps. For me, I just leave them blanks. Sometimes I put travel time in it if it's going to be a long time. Like if I'm traveling an hour or more, I'll put travel time in. But other than that, I don't need to put it in. All right, so Tuesday is actually a day that I usually have off work. However, and I say usually just because it ends up being that way because of my job. Tuesday's a really slow day at work, so I end up working weekends mostly. And my weekdays ends up being my days off. I usually put all my priority tasks on that day. If I have to ever add a priority task or change one, it's always on a Tuesday, but then I just move it around as I see fit. This is another thing with time blocking that is, I feel like, super essential because you can move the stuff where you need it to go. And I've kind of said that already in this video multiple times but different ways, but especially like if you're doing it in Google Calendar or on whatever digital calendar app you're using, as long as the item is in there, you know you have to do it, and then you can just put it wherever it best fits your life. Like I said, because I work retail, I do this every week where I have to change things around and move things around. So it's just easier for me to do it this way. So this day I work early, so I can't take my kids to school. So I just delete that. And then the rest of these items are going to move around. So I'm going to film on this day. I'm going to schedule my posts on this day. We are going to content plan here because I have my meetings, my WAM meeting this day. If you're not familiar with the 12-week year, a WAM meeting is a weekly accountability meeting, and I have it on this day. Every Tuesday I have it at 7, so it makes sense for me to plan right before that actually. Same thing with 0 inbox, and then actually at this time I need to pick up my kids from school because I am off at that time. So I can pick them up from school, but you know, if I'm working, someone else will get them picked up. Oh, well, someone else will pick them up, I mean. And then dinner. I also find it really helpful to put in things like dinner or grocery shopping, stuff like that, because yes, it's a task that you have to do regardless, but I put it in because it's a task you have to do regardless. Like, this is what makes time blocking super realistic. Like, it brings it down to earth. Yes, it's about your goals and it's about setting priority and meeting that priority where it's at, but it's also about being intentional. So you have to put that time aside to make dinner. So put that time in your calendar, like be intentional about that. So then when the time comes around, it's like, oh, I'm not wasting time. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do in that moment. I'm taking the time to go ahead and make dinner for my children, eat dinner with my children and all that, so that I can get back to my goals. I can get back to achieving goals. I have a flight this day on the 12th, and I don't know why it's not in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here because right after work, I'm gonna be going to the airport, going to visit my cousin. So we're gonna be like, there's gonna be a lot of relaxing involved in this trip. Like, it's not like a thing where I'm like going to do something specific. I'm really just going to spend time with her. So I'm gonna have time to do these other things. So the only day I'm not gonna plan is Saturday, because I know she wants to do something specific. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to maneuver things around. Make sure you do this color coding thing and like this like if you do your calendar within Google Calendar, I would suggest you have some type of color coding system or a system where you can categorize your events. So then that way you can really see and you can visualize them, as well as you know what they are. So like, I know at a glance, if it's the dark maroon color, this is just a life task thing. This is just something like, oh, dinner, shopping, something like that. Same thing with the gray ones. The dark gray ones are admin tasks. Like, I need to look at a specific email. I need to do something like that, or create something for my journal, something like that. Or the light gray ones are YouTube. I need to do something for YouTube at this time. So stuff like that. I feel like it's definitely, I know it's definitely beneficial to add the color in there. That's what my week looks like. I feel like it's also super beneficial to have things like reminders and little check bullet points within your calendar. But of course, that's based off of you if you need those types of reminders. I do. The reason why I write things down is so my brain doesn't get cluttered up with them, and so I don't have to continue to keep it in the forefront of my mind to try and remember it. My reminder system can remember it for me and then remind me. So I also have to be super diligent about using that system so it can remind me so I won't forget something. Yeah, but I digress. It's a work in progress, but this is my time blocking system, how I use it and how I think it's most beneficial for me or someone like me who works in a retail job and is not 9 to 5 or doesn't work just at home. Like, my job is fluctuating. Like, I have travel time mixed in there. I have to go places. I also have children, young children that have things to do. So time blocking those items is important too, because they are priority. They are a priority thing, and it's part of a goal. It may not be my goal, it may be their goal, but it's still part of a goal. So I tend to put that in my time blocking system as well. So that's it. Those are my tips, tricks, and how I use time blocking to my advantage, and how I've really just formulated and created this system that really helps me stay focused and in the moment, and being really intentional about my time and my goals and meeting my goals. I think that's like that's like the top thing about time blocking that I love. It helps me stay intentional about everything that I do, because I know I need to put it in my calendar. I need to calculate this time and set this time aside to be able to reach a goal or be able to do something. So yeah, it's an intentionality, super key, super clutch, especially when trying to achieve goals. That's it for this video, guys. If you haven't seen my previous time blocking video where I first started time blocking and how I adapted my schedule or adapted my life for it, I will link that on the screen. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the comment box below. Just ask me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so by hitting my face down below. Thanks for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.